So today I'd like to talk about meaningful cups, and probably of all the forms that a potter makes, cups are the ones I enjoy making the most for many reasons. Probably cups are the most intimate form a potter makes because they touch people's hands and also touch their lips as they're using them. I want to make this cup that I've just recently made for the first time. This is sort of exciting for me to do something I hadn't done before, and I don't know what came over me at the time, but I thought, why not just cut it in half and put it back together? I remember when I was in graduate school being asked the question, where do you want your pots to end up? Do you want them to end up in the kitchen to be used every day? Or do you want them to end up in the living room to be looked at? For a long time, the cups I made, I intended them to be used, but they would always end up in people's living rooms. And they were simply more to look at than they were to use. So I tried to change that with time. Most potters that have been working a long time actually have this vision of what the piece is going to look like when it's done. And this glaze is how I envision this. So this piece will sort of look like a block of ice or a piece of sky. So all forms of art deal with composition and how parts fit together both in a harmonious way or in a sort of juxtaposition or more of a contrasting way. Since the pot was squared off, I want to square off the foot. So I trim part of it and then I actually make the foot square. And the bottom of cups have a history to them, and it's always compelling to turn them over, and it's more revealing in terms of the story behind the pot and how the pot is finished. So I'd like to make a handle for this particular cup, and it always looks much easier than it actually is, but to get just the right amount of pressure and taper to the handle can be very challenging. And then later on, when this handle is hardened, I actually take a wedge of clay and wedge it right in the bottom of that handle and then model it to look like it's literally growing out of the side of the pot. Much the way your shoulder or your arm is thickest here, you want it thickest where it's attached quite often, similar to when a branch is growing out of the trunk of a tree. And it's comforting in some way to know that those areas are perhaps more secure and thicker. When you use all handmade cups, it's sort of, you become familiar, there's a sort of a haptic memory that we have of all the cups in our house in terms of how they feel. And much the way you have a favorite pair of pants or a shirt and it just feels right, some cups just really feel right. And neurologically, apparently, touch is one of the slowest senses. It slows us down. And I like that sense of contemplation that can happen when you're drinking out of a cup, and it has a way of actually slowing time down. Okay? Is that all right? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, let me just